Hello everyone, welcome to yet another session on soft skills and interpersonal communication with me Waheeda, Assistant Professor at the Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Dundigal, Hyderabad. In today's session, we are going to talk about how we are going to develop interpersonal relationship through effective soft skills. In the earlier video, we talked about what soft skills are, what is the mindset that goes behind soft skills, and what are the social graces, body language, communication skills, leadership skills, time management, personality, leadership skills, and problem solving abilities. All these things, those are that we talked about in soft skills, and how interpersonal relationship is being affected by soft skills. If you have good soft skills, then how your interpersonal relationship can be effective, and how you can grow in your personal as well as your professional life. So let's get started, and let's see what is there in interpersonal skills. What are interpersonal skills? Interpersonal skills include a variety of skills. Though many are centered around communication, like listening, questioning, and understanding, body language, all these things are interpersonal, compromising of interpersonal relationship. They also include the skills and attributes associated with emotional intelligence, or being able to understand and manage your own and others' emotions as well. Not only our own emotions, but also about others' emotion. These are the skills, how we deal with people. It is also called as the dyadic relationship that we hold with our family members, our partners, our neighbors, relatives, co-workers, or colleagues, or classmates or college mates with whom we meet on a daily basis, on a day-to-day basis. And what kind of a body language that we show to the people around us, whether we are intimidating to them, or we are having a smiling face, or uh, is it a welcoming body posture, how we are carrying ourselves. All these things come under the interpersonal communication. These also includes, as I told you about, attributes associated with emotional intelligence. What are the things that we should talk, how we should behave in a certain situation, what is it that we must talk, and what is it more important that we must not talk on certain situations, and how we are able to understand others, and how we are able to manage our own emotions. Like, how are we becoming too emotional on a small thing, or are we becoming numb, and when it is required to be emotional at a time and we become numb. How we are managing our own emotions, and how we are managing other people's emotion, those who are around us. These are all interpersonal communication. Interpersonal skills are the skills we use every day when we communicate and interact with other people, both individually and in groups. People with strong interpersonal skills are often more successful in both their professional and personal lives. That is more important, because they know how to communicate, how to talk to anyone, and how to maintain the dyadic and triadic relationships. People with good interpersonal skills tend to be able to work well in a team or in a group, and with other people more generally. They are able to communicate effectively with others, whether family or friends, colleagues, as I told you, customers or clients as well. This will improve your business as well. The success at your business defines how well you are managing your interpersonal skills. These are therefore vital in all areas of our life, at work, in education, and socially. Interpersonal skills are generally considered to include a wide range of skills, like communication skills, which it covers verbal communication, non-verbal communication, listening skills, because how much we listen to others depends upon how much we care others. Emotional intelligence, how much our emotional intelligence has developed. As the picture suggests, you can see the picture below, how people are communicating and how others are looking at the person who is speaking, and how much importance that they are giving. They are not only bothered about themselves, but they are also uh, verbally and non-verbally communicating, and others are listening to the speaker. And then how team is working together, and negotiation skills, persuasion and influencing skills, conflict resolution is a very important aspect when it comes to working together. People, if they do not develop this conflict resolution, there'll be, when people are around, there'll be a lot of this difference of opinions, and some people work in a different manner. Some have the smart way of working, some have the lengthy and procedural way of working things. Then how people mediate, how they are doing mediation, is there a rapport in the team, or are they being updated on a daily basis or not. Then problem solving and decision making skills, problem solving, and also problem identification. Sometimes there is no identification of the problem, and people start finding the solutions to the problem, which in turns become a very lengthy process, since we do not have the idea as the where the problem is lying around. So it is very important, first the uh, ability to detect the problem, then the ability to solve the problem is very essential, and then we have the decision making power, decision making at the right time. Making a decision on the right time is very important. If the decision is made very late, and the time has elapsed, then you are helpless, nothing can bring you back to that position again. So decision making is very important skill that we must uh, work on. Then effective verbal communication is also very important. It encompasses good relations at the workplace and also at your home front. There are two aspects of effective verbal communication: what to say if the situation requires. Sometimes there are situations that you think it is better to keep quiet, but the situation requires that you should have said something to solve that problem. And another is how to say it, how you are managing it, how to subtly say it, by not hurting the people around, and you pass the message to the people, not using sarcasm most of the time. People with good interpersonal intelligence are also intelligent at verbal communication. They can easily ask some questions or express the information with confidence. When you are able to do this, express the information, and also do it with confidence. They also know how to represent their words so that people can easily listen to them, understand them. That's how they put across their thoughts in such a manner that the people around them get interested into what they are trying to say, because they are following certain rules and regulations that have been mapped out by the society, so that we are given respect. We are not demanding respect, but our behavior, our mannerisms, our disposition should be so that people should respect us. Okay, it should come from within, not by demand. And effective non-verbal communication is also another way of dealing with interpersonal communication. It's not only about moving our body, but also about our facial expressions. Most importantly, uh, how we show our emotions through our facial expressions. Like example, I say dance is a form of art where facial expression enhances it. Our body movements will not define it as a complete form of art. When we express our feelings, the most important is the face that we, apart from the body, hand movement, head movement, movement of the eyes. People with good verbal communication skills can easily control their body language and spoken words. We have good behavior. It represents human relations. It is defined as the strategy in which people communicate with each other. It includes both verbal and non-verbal cues for effective communication. Unusual behavior can cause distractions. There are certain rules, like your mannerisms. That's what is soft skills that we talked about. How we are behaving in front of others. What kind of disposition? What are the social graces that we must be following? How to behave if some uh, inconsistent talk comes, or if any troubling question is asked to you, how to behave. And if you are not in a position to answer, how to be confident that you should not be answering that question that is not worthy of answering. Things like that. Also, non-verbal cues that we show to other people, that is very important. We should not show some unusual behavior which will be a kind of a problem, like crying unnecessarily, or showing throwing tantrums, or laughing or getting angry, throwing things. All these things comprise of that. What is body language? Body language is the essential interpersonal skills that use non-verbal aspects of communication, like shaking hands. So when you shake hands with other people, it shows how much you are interested. There are this enthusiastic person who shakes hand, a person who is firm in his handshake, who is confident, and dead fish. Another way of shaking hand is that when you're not at all interested to shake the hand with the other person. These two persons represent different body language for a similar task. We always give some unspoken signals during our conversation with others. Sometimes we are aware what we are doing, like our hand movements, we are able to see that. But sometimes we are unaware of certain body postures or body movements that we do not bother that it might look rude or vulgar or something. But we need to have very careful observation of our body movements. It includes like posture, what kind of a body posture, how your shoulders are they drooping, or are you bending down forward, or you're slouching, or are you standing firm with confidence? How is your eye movement? Are you looking into the eyes of the speaker with or the person whom you are conversing with? How your hand movements are, facial expressions, very important aspect of non-verbal communication. And another most important thing is your voice tone. The intonation that you are using, the pitch of your voice, how you are talking, how you are starting your sentence. Are you humble? Are you polite? Are you rash? Or are you rude towards other? All these things. Like moving your example could be moving your legs during the conversation shows the disinterest of a person in that conversation. So we should not force anybody, or we should understand from their body language. If the other person is not comfortable trying in your conversation, then you should not lag that, or you should not drag your conversation. Try to end it up, try to wind it up. That would be better. Being an active listener is another way of dealing with interpersonal communication. Listening, as I told you before, we had a complete lecture on what listening is, what are the stages of listening, how many types of listeners are there, how to listen so that you retain the information for a longer period of time. And if you are listening something, what are you doing? If you are hearing something, what is the action, or what is it that you are doing, and what are the things that if you do, if you follow, then your listening will be effective. And how important it is in running the conversation forward, in making the conversation go ahead. All these things. Then it includes providing responses and reactions to the other people during a conversation. It's termed as feedback. When we talked about the elements of communication, the sender initiates the conversation, and the receivers receive it through by listening, and there is a channel through which they understand. It could be an audio cassette, or it be one-to-one conversation, it could be one-to-many conversation, uh, and also it could be a graphic posture, it could be a picture, paralanguage, all these things. And feedback to the speaker comes when this element of communication, or the process of communication, completes. It is through the medium or the channel through which we are forwarding our information, the message that we want to. Sometimes the message is not decoded properly with the sender. There comes lot of barriers. If there is a barrier, or there is a stoppage in the middle, where through the channel, if the person is not forwarding the information, the message is not clear in there, when the encoding and decoding is not happening in a proper manner, then it becomes difficult, or a barrier occurs in communication. And what the sender is intending to say to the receiver may not be understood by the receiver in the same manner as intended by the speaker. Sometimes the information is registered in a wrong manner because of the mindset of the listener as well, or due to some barriers that have occurred. There are a number of barriers that we could talk about, like the physiological barrier, physical barrier, cultural barrier, gender barrier, the perceptual barrier, fear, fear of being rejected, all these things. There's so n number of barriers that we talked about in the barriers of listening and speaking, in another video that you can follow in the same soft skills and interpersonal communication category. You will come to know all the details about it. So going back to the communication process here, the feedback is the last, when the sender has given the complete information, and the sender intends that the receiver understand the information as he has intended, as he has understood it. But if the information has been registered in a wrong manner or otherwise, then through feedback, the sender can understand how much of the content that the audience understood. So that makes communication a more an active process. It can be of many forms, such as verbal or non-verbal. The picture below suggests so many of them, like what we are saying, what we are hearing, all those content. Relationship management. Interpersonal communication helps us in maintaining good relation. It helps in relationship management. We are the two-way stream. We must be emotionally intelligent to understand the relationships and their importance. We are required to set the boundaries to make a healthy relationship. If we want to maintain healthy relationship, what are the things that we should do, and what are the things that we should never do, and we should maintain ourselves in those boundaries, those inhibitions, or the kind of behavior that is expected of you in different situations. Then your pitch of your voice. Pitch is defined as the frequency at which the vocal cord of the humans vibrate. The pitch determines how we represent our words in a practical, attractive, and easy to understand manner. For example, a pitch might not be audible to everyone, while a very high pitch may disturb. Hence, pitch maintenance is an essential part of effective interpersonal communication. Some people think that we have very little time, so they want to say it fast and loud. And some think that their they are trying to utilize their mind and trying to equilibrium with their kind of emotions or thought. And what do? They take the information very slowly so that people should understand in a manner. But what usually happens is that I spoke about this in physiological barrier when I was speaking about listening barriers, that some people have this ability to understand a number of words per minute, but the other people do not have. All do not have it in equal quantity. So, different people, according to their level of IQ, understand the content in different number of words per minute. So if the information is coming very slowly, the person shifts his attention to something else and gets distracted, and his attention gets divided. If the person is a slow person and if the information is coming at a very fast pace, then that person will not also be able to cope up and understand all the words that are spoken, that are heard by them. So the intention of the person who is speaking should be that your words, your language should be very clear, and the pitch should be normal so that the people should be able to listen to them properly. If it is not done in a proper manner, if the slow pitches is not audible and the high pitches, again it is a kind of a disturbance which if maintained could have an effective interpersonal communication. Then we have this emotional intelligence, or it is the short form is EQ, is the ability to control our own and other people's emotions. Like other factors such as empathy, if a person is very empathetic towards the other person, their ability to deal with emotions is different. Like how they are motivating others also. Social skills and self-awareness. Soft skills are also termed as social skills another way. Self-awareness. In another video on self-discovery, I talked to you about all the things that we should be doing to discover ourselves. It is a detailed video. You can go back to it and refer when you are having self-awareness. What kind of a person? I told you that empathy, the recognition or the finding out that you are an empathetic person will have a different kind of a behavior when it comes to realizing other people's, putting ourselves in the shoes of other person, as it is termed as. Uh, this is also described as emotional intelligence. Studies have shown that people with high EQ generally have better job performances, better mental health, and good relationships with others. Because a person who is empathetic, if, for example, if I am being rude to the other person, if I am in that person's place, how would I feel? If that feeling is there in you alive, then that person is all the time thinking about other people's feelings, whether this word of mine will not hurt the other person. So these kind of people maintain very good relationships with other, and the person who is well versed in interpersonal communication is the best person to be with. Emotional awareness also helps us to understand better the people communicating with us. Interpersonal barriers are present outside the individual and affect communication around us. It may occur when any candidate lacks sensitivity, confidence, etc. There are n number of types of people. As many number of people are there, there are as many types, as many feelings, as emotional development. Different kinds of people are there, as no two people are same. So some people lack sensitivity. They are very rough or they are rude towards other, and then they do not also bother if other people behave rudely to them. That is the kind of treatment that they have been given from childhood. That's the way that they have been treated all their life. So it makes no difference for them if they are treated badly, or if they treat some other badly, not sensitively. So then there are other types like lack of desire to explore. Some people think, okay, what I am, it is enough for me today. No need to go out of my comfort zone and find out or take risk or try to explore some other areas of interest. So some individuals have no interest in exploring ideas, opinion, views, etc. For example, if you do not have that feeling to explore your own self, you to discover yourself, you might not know some hidden or dormant qualities of yours, and you might not make use of it, and you might be the person who is going to be at loss, having not realized who you really are. That will create as a communication barrier. Sometimes it is also frustrating for others if you are behaving in such a manner. It could be many reasons why a person is doing like that. It could be the culture, the nation, diversity, the tradition of the people over their ethnicities and beliefs, the pet peeves, or the religion of that person also leaves a lot of difference in different kind of behavior that the people follow. Lack of participation, it isn't easy to communicate with the person who is not interested in talking. It is considered a significant barrier to communication, interpersonal communication. The picture suggests that the red one is with the mic and the gray one is closing the ears. That means that the person is not intending to talk to the other person or listen to the other person. As I just now spoke to you about the cultural barriers, they usually exist between countries, religions, caste, color, etc. in at any level in society or an organization. These barriers also can occur between family or family members or groups. First of all, I mean, imagine or analyze your own family. There must be people, four people, but all of your opinions, your beliefs, your likings, dislikings are all different from each other. Though you are living in one under the roof of under one roof, then also your belief system is different. So imagine if people are coming from different cultures. It is believed that 100 to 120 kilometers, every 100 to 20 200 kilometers, the cultures differ. There is a change in the culture, the belief, the standard of living of the people. All these things differ in. There's this unusual medium. The selection of the channel determines effective communication. Sometimes it is better to discuss a severe issue face to face rather than sending text messages or letters. What sometimes happens is that when we are trying to convey our feelings, our emotions, our thoughts, and our knowledge to other people in writing, and there is no support of our facial expressions, body language, movement of the eyes, our body posture, all these things contribute a lot to how we try to communicate our feelings and thoughts. So in such cases, if it is lacking, then we might not be able to express our thoughts in a better manner. So it is risky to discuss such issues on text messages or emails because it lacks fast feedback. What happens is that maybe if the person is not present over there, one to one talk is not going on, and you are reading it at a later stage, there are heavy chances are there that you might misunderstand the message by the speaker. Then again, we have the attitudinal barrier. Attitude barriers are the barriers that arise due to individual habits, attitudes, overconfidence, and or behavior also. They lack in mutual understanding between people. Like if I have the attitude that I should not mingle with so and so strata of the society, people from that kind of a society, or people from that religion, or people from that caste, this acts as a barrier. Uh, that is why it is not advisable to have this division. Such barriers lack in mutual understanding, like between people. Then again, there could be language barriers also. They determine the difficulty of understanding the message between individuals or a group of people. If a person doesn't know one particular language and that person has to communicate only in that language and there is no go, you're trying to explain to them, there are chances, heavy chances that the listener is going to misunderstand you because you might pronounce the words wrongly, or you might pronounce the word which is uh, same like in another language, which will give a derogatory meaning of that situation or something like that. So it means that our language can become barriers if others do not understand our words, signs, or expressions. The message is in itself is a waste of time if the other person is not able to understand who you are, what you are trying to tell. So, how to develop these interpersonal skills? They are easy to learn and develop. Interpersonal skills are very easy to learn and develop. Create a positive outlook. Have open-minded attitude. Like when you are there sitting in a room and people are trying to talk to you, keep your mind open to listen to what other people are saying. Do not have a preconceived notion, or don't carry that baggage that why should I listen to that person, he or she is younger to me, what kind of life experience they must be having, and why should I listen to them. If this kind of mindset is there, then the person will not open up with others. They will not have a positive outlook towards other. If you create one, if you happen to have a positive outlook about people and situations, then you will mingle up with, you will have maintain interpersonal relationship in an effective manner. Have a control over the emotions. You should not lose control of your emotions. You should have control over them. Whenever you become angry on certain things, first of all, it is not good to be angry. It spoils your health as well as the people around you. So that's why it is important that you must have control over your emotions. That's why emotional intelligence is an important pillar of interpersonal communication. You should know how to control it. It is like a uncontrollable horse that is going on and on and on, and it's out of control. If you do not bring it to control on the right time, it is going to give you a lot of problems it's going to create for you in your life. And this help everyone, that empathetic feeling towards other people is very important. Helping other people, being compassionate to others, being empathetic towards. It is the mindset that goes behind a person with complete soft skills, being a person of good behavior and mannerisms. Then focus on communication skills. How to say how to say something to someone, what not to say, when to say and when not to say, how to behave yourselves, how to communicate your ideas and feelings, what to say, what not to say, and how you should be assertive in certain situations. Managing people around us. It is the easiest thing, or it is the most difficult thing. It is both the things. Managing people around us is the most easier thing if we understand them, and it is the most difficult thing if you do not understand the people around us. Sometimes it becomes their layers of understanding come to the forefront. We When we come across people behaving differently, when they are faced with different kinds of expressions or emotions, so it becomes difficult. Then stand for self. Do not allow other people to insult you. Do not allow other people to bog you down or bring your self esteem down. Stand for yourself. If you think something is right, do not compromise with something wrong. If you know you are truthful, then do not compromise. Stand for yourself. And in any situation, don't stoop to the lower level. Avoid interrupting others. This is the most irritating thing that people do to others. Avoid trying to interrupt somebody doing some serious work, some serious counting is going on, trying to ask a question just to irritate the person. uh, I mean, you think you are just trying to make fun of that person, but you lose interest. You lose respect also in that sight of that person. So avoid interrupting other people. Reduce the physical barriers. If you think you are talking to somebody, you need to converse to somebody, you need to say something to them, try to go near them. I mean, physical barrier has to be avoided. Mm, Try to maintain that distance, proximity we are going to have one more lecture on how much of distance that we must have with people of different relationships and people outsiders or strangers, how much of distance that we should maintain from them, all these things. So reduce the physical barriers, as I said to you. Then how you can do that? If you are very far from that person, come near to the person when you are trying to talk. Don't try to yell from there and try to send the message. It looks rude, I mean, very uneducated people, unrefined, rough people do such kind of a behavior. So avoid distractions. When you are doing something, be focused as to how you are doing that, what kind of behavior is required, what kind of interest that it demands should be very clear in your mind. That's how you can avoid distractions. Shows the speaker that you are listening. How can you do that? By maintaining eye contact. Try to listen to the person by removing all the distractions from your talking. Maintain eye contact, and also look into the I mean, maintaining eye contact is looking into the eyes of the audience, and also try to listen with interest by giving some signals like nodding your head or trying to show your facial expression, by showing curiosity, by using such gestures, oh really, like those kinds of behavior. So what is it all that we have discussed in this interpersonal skills and interpersonal communication, how we should be maintaining through soft skills? Like we need to have a uh, center we should be having centered around, it should be concerning listening, questioning and understanding, body language, and how we should maintain ourselves in the groups, uh, things like that. And then people with good interpersonal skills tend to be able to work in a team in an efficient way, and they know what to talk to people and they know what not to talk to people, and their verbal communication is good, non-verbal communication, their body language is good, negotiation skills are there, persuasion skills and influencing others, convincing abilities, conflict resolution, mediation, problem solving and decision making, all these things comprise interpersonal communication. So with this we come to an end of the session on interpersonal skills and communication. How to maintain good relationship, the dyadic relationship, one-to-one relationship, mother-daughter relationship, father-son relationship, father-son, father-daughter, mother-son relationship, like with neighbors, our immediate neighbors, far-off neighbors, near relative, extended family, far-off relatives, how we are maintaining all this relationship. At the workplace, how compassionate we are, how we are trying to help others, or are we very selfish and only working for our benefit, our prosperity, and not thinking about the other people around is also very bad for our interpersonal growth. So with this we come to an end of the session.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.